So category of beings, what order do we do metta in or for others and ourselves? We start with metta for ourselves. You can do either the innate goodness practice or you can do metta for yourself using the support phrases if that's a better contact for you. Next category is benefactor. This is someone who has been a mentor, a teacher, somebody who you feel you look up to. So it can be an idealized figure. And you can just explore and see. Some people have used parents or other adults in their family. So whoever you feel like has taken you under their wing, looked out for you, maybe a supervisor at work who gave you, trained you or gave you great advice at some point. The next category is friend. And in friend, I generally am pointing to friends that are easy to contact the innate goodness. So if you have somebody who either you have trouble feeling innate goodness for that friend, or you've had a complicated relationship, you've had several years you didn't speak or didn't get along, you had some kind of a breakup as friends for a while, put those people in the difficult or challenging category. So do friends, again, that are easy to feel innate goodness for. Next category is neutral people. These are people we know well enough to form an initial opinion, but we don't know well enough to confirm the opinion. So this is folks like the postal carrier, the grocery store clerk, bank teller, people like this, people you see regularly, but again, you don't know well. And contacting their innate goodness, we're doing it based upon a kind of an assumption. We presume they have innate goodness, or the grocery clerk may be friendly most of the time, so we have a sense of their innate goodness. But this is teaching us to contact innate goodness when we don't have a lot of information. And the next category is the difficult or challenging person. I generally recommend people put their partners and birth family in this category because you've had different layers of relationship. Sometimes you've gotten along beautifully and sometimes you've had difficult times. So just because of the complication, it's easy to put all these people together. And the final category is all beings. And for this, I tend to recommend doing it geographically. So starting where you are in the building you're in, and then expanding into the neighborhood, the city or town, and then larger and larger areas to where you're doing continent by continent, doing the islands in the ocean of the earth, and then eventually doing the entire earth. And some people will take all beings to the level of animals, and I even had somebody do insects one time. So you can do it whatever makes sense to you. A couple things in the traditional instruction, we're told not to do it for the dead. My personal belief is that it can be advantageous to do metta for the dead. I'm not sure that it contacts the dead person or their consciousness, but it can improve our relationship in our memory of that person. So that's why it can be beneficial to do. And typically at a traditional Theravadan retreat, you're instructed not to do metta or other Brahma viharas for people for whom you feel a sexual attraction. So the traditional instruction would be for males not to do metta for females or females for males, because it's viewed in that limited dimensionality. These days, of course, it's a lot more divided. There's more categories in that regard regarding sexual attraction. So the thing that I say to people is if somebody is going to be challenging to you because of their sexual attraction or your sexual attraction to them, then it may be best to exclude them from any of the groups and just do people for whom there's more of a neutral sexual attraction. Doesn't mean you can't do your partner or spouse. I just mean if someone you only know them in that way, it can be complicated to do.